And we're back. Hey, everybody. Sorry about last week's tech issues. I think I have them all squared away. I was trying to really get rid of this yellow bar that only I can see around. If you Google it, you'll notice a bunch of people are running into that issue. I thought I found a solution, and it ended up costing a lot of the stream last week. So apologies for that. I thought it was Twitch side. It was definitely on my end. Trying to fix too many little doohickeys. Then last night, I jump online, and I can't launch Magic. So I had to redo everything with my software and all that. So I think I'm really good to go, and we're going to be off next week, just a reminder to everybody. But we're playing a fan favorite. About every 6 months or so, we try to fit this in because we get about 1 or 2 requests a month to play this and UG Death Touch, which is kind of a metagame no-no right now. But thank you, Little Fighting Shirazman, for joining me, my friends, and for the deck nifs. So this list is very similar. The big difference from the last time we played it is I've added Nimbus Wings over Sentinel's Eyes. And so we're going to go with the, this is White Infect for those of the unknowing persuasion. There's a lot of lands in this because if you look really closely, we've got 3 Fengrafs which die or go get something, and we have 4 steps, which most of the time about 2 or 3 of them get cycled. You really want to hit all your lands in this. Don't want to be marooned. And if you take these away, we're only left with like 16 lands or so. So we have a lot of interesting little tricks in this list. Our creature package is the best one here. Priests of Norn, awesome with Prismatic Strands, which we have all 4 of in the sideboard. More on that later. The big deal here is Angelic Removal with Bodyguards. Pretty awesome. You sack the Bodyguard, you go get them back. You target something like maybe that was cast down, and then you get back your Bodyguard to do it again, usually asking a lot more of your opponent's removal than they have access to sometimes. So we got Benevolent Blessing, which keeps our enchantments alive. Against standard bearers, we can make it pro-white, blah, blah, blah. Ethereal Armor is a no-brainer. Solid Footings, nice flash enchantment. Sometimes you can save your critter. Most of the time you want to throw it on this, and then you just win the game. And if they have anything in the way, you do this. And if they try to Galvanic Blast it, you do this. Careful to keep a plane out, and don't try to do it with just a Fengraf and a step out. Lost Leonin is our big beater of the deck. Can't ask for too much with white. And then our Ichorclaw Myr picks up the creature package with a total of 16. So after all of this goodness, we have 1 Viridian Longbow for Foglocks, and we got 1 in the sideboard to do the same. I've completely negated Paladin 19. Thanks for joining us, my friend. So I've completely negated the Tron angle. I just ran into a Tron list, I think on Pauper Classic Tuesday, and I brought in like 8 cards, and it still wasn't enough. And so I was looking at this going, you know what? Red and black obviously are bane. We've got a lot of answers main, but I want more of them in the side. And I just completely, I'm like, you know what, Tron? I'm going to bring in the longbow, and if you can fog lock me, good on you, because I'm not going to dumb down my sideboard to a point of affecting everything else. So speaking of sideboard, we've got 1 more longbow, 2 more cures. So if it's a red-based deck, I take out some Angelic Renewals and maybe, the longbow, and I bring in all 4 cures. This is great against burn and a lot of decks too. It's a free spell, one not many people have seen before. So I brought in 2 Obsidian Acolytes because cast down can be kind of a pain. 1 Crimson Acolyte and 1 COP red, 1 COP blue, the 2 more Angelic Renewals. So if I'm looking at a black-based deck, I can get rid of the Orim's Cure and bring in all the Angelic Renewals, which are much better against black. All 4 Prismatic Strands. This is mostly for Storm, and so is this. By itself, this is kind of a silly card, but when you have this much Protection Suite main, you can block 10,000 squirrels, save it, or block 10,000 squirrels forever. It's pretty badass, and at a 4 toughness, it's unless they really know what you're doing, sniping you, whatever you want to call it, it can get pretty crazy. So, and it reminds me, if you remember our little times of charades, or when my son would draw with his thumb on the thinkability or whatever, and he drew this, he focused on this guy in the foreground, which I almost have never seen before. I always focused on these guys, but he made this prominent, and so I could never guess what the card was. And so ever since then, I see this zombie dude sitting here and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, enough about that. We're going to go in here, and hopefully we can... Last time we played this, we went 4-1, had a really good outing, and like I said, we've had some... really good fun with this over the years. It's come and gone, different sets, different things. Hey-oh, Pupper Tim in the house. But again, apologies for last week's little tech issues. That was all me. And we've got a new squirrel commercial here. It's on YouTube already. But yeah, again, reminder, next week, no show. We only miss about 2 a year, and driving my son up to San Francisco area, and we're going to get him doing the college thing. It might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone and hit a few, family members and having a big old pool party and things like that. So it'll be pretty fun. What else was I going to do? Oh, I wanted to go over the band list that I recommend. I've got something set up here, and I was even considering just Storm, but I'm gonna maybe do a quick video on it next week. But throughout the show, I would like you guys to chime in on that. One of the main things I'd like to focus on, obviously, I don't want Tron to be ignored, because the second Chatterstorm goes away, it's still going to be the Ghostly Flicker Ephemerate lock. And people go, oh, well, what do you got against... They might say that. What do you got against Tron? Blah, blah, blah. Don't ban the lands. It's like, yeah, but then Familiars just steps right in with its Karoo lands and does it. The main engine of it is the Flicker engine, Ephemerate, untapping things. So far as even to say Snap, I would get rid of. Unless we want to go the Wild West approach, which I'm in favor of too, which is just unban everything. Let's see where the cards fall. More on that later. Let's hope we don't get any quitters today. Thank you for joining us. And here we go. Okay, we don't have any heavy hitters. We do have some critters. I think I got to throw this back. We'll mulligan this. We don't really have any threats here. I'll keep this. And I guess we'll get rid of one solid footing. I'd rather have double creatures here. Not the best hand, but compared to the last 2 weeks when we're drawing like one land, that's not the color we really want to see across from us. One of the bad things about playing this in the tournament practice room being that, mono black tends to be everywhere, and that's a bit of a rough matchup, game one especially. So hopefully they use a lot of their edicts and such on the bodyguard and hope for the best. Okay, well, I'm kind of happy about that. Not happy. That means he's got even more. Here we go. So yeah, there's a few decks I was thinking of playing today, and I wound up on this one. We'll see. Open up our yard here. Not going to sit around too long. But yeah, you just never want to miss a land drop with this list. There's too much to do too often. And later on, you can just get your creatures back, including the bodyguard. Go in for that alpha strike. Alrighty. Well, outside of a 1-mana issue spell here, I think we'll be all right. Oops, never mind. Okay, they've got 3 cards left. Let's hope they're running out of removal. We'll bring this down. And I think I'm going to sit back just in case they have some sort of weird one mana spell. We can use solid footing and instant speed. I'm not quite sure. Ichorclaw Myr doesn't represent that big of a threat. It might quickly, but with edicts and stuff, we have to force ourselves to go all in here on this game one. Oh, I don't like this, but we'll let him take whatever he wants. This might change our plans. Note to the kids out there, that's why you don't cycle real quick. He might have been able to pick from 3 cards. I don't like this, though. If he's got cast down, he's able to just kind of dictate where things land. If he's going to do it now. All right. Well, I'd rather draw a card here than commit. Maybe I'll find something good here. Cycle. But this has always been a very big fan favorite. Always like playing this list. Benevolent Blessing showing up, but we've already seen an edict. 2, 4, 5. He's only 2 cards away from flashing that back. I'm going to go a little on this route here. I think we're going to favor this Lost Leonin to go all the way. And I'll just rock like this. Really wish... Well, had I played that step, we wouldn't have walked into the Leonin there. So, very curious indeed. All right. So please be Johnny on the spot if you guys see any hiccups that are abnormal like last week. I'm pretty sure I got all my settings back to the way they were. And like I said, the big issue, if you Google it, it's not OBS's fault. It's just Windows and all their endless updates. They made it to where they know if your screen's being recorded. So I right now can see this weird gold halo around the screen. And I did a bunch of tests to make sure it wasn't recording that way. And thankfully it wasn't. Well, this is what gets a little frustrating here. See, we want land right there. And we didn't get it, even though we're running 23 lands. But we're going to come over for 3. We're at least out of Edict room here. I think he just wants to draw some cards. Now, normally I would sit back and play the protection game, but we've got the win next turn with Priests of Norn, and we've got enough critters out that I think he's going to be a little hurting for, what do you call, where to put the removal. So that Priest has got a big backside, so he's out of lightning bolt range, but when we drop the solid footing, we might be able to get a cast down out of it, and then we Benevolent Blessing in response and hope he doesn't have another response. So. But as last week, please keep the chat going because I'm a little bit paranoid. Just saw a hiccup. My son has the hiccups. I Did you drop off last week? Yeah, I was just saying, Lucas Scratch, thanks for chiming in about that. That was the big issue last week, was so many little dropouts there. So we'll attack like this. We've got solid footing backup. We'll go like this, and this should be game if he can't deal with it, because that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and he's at 4 already. Dreamer's Dingo, glad I made a mono white infect stream after requesting it. Yes, you and many others. It's all right, cool. So this is, gosh, I'll just call it Jund. And that was a W. Yeah, this one really tickles people because, you know, you want to infect people and it gets around so many things, and then, you know, people just oh, what's the word? I don't know. You invest all this stuff into it, and then it, you know, crashes and burns. It can get really frustrating. So we're going to bring in both Acolytes, and I'm going to bring in both Angelic Renewals. Now, Orim's Cure isn't that good here because we're not dealing with damage outside of some combat tricks, so we're going to get rid of these two things. We still have to lose one more. Prismatic Strands, kind of useless. These are kind of useless. So I'm looking for the one thing that, you know, probably don't want to see too much. Probably a Nimbus Wings. We didn't see too many creatures there. This card, I really searched high and low for this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason I'm playing every little bit of this mana. It has a lot to do with the defense, the flying. I looked into equipment. I looked into every bit of, like, you know, got to go with the enchantment route, and that was easily the one that I wanted the most. So, yeah, here we go. Thank you for that, Shirazaman. All right, so we got 2 lands, and we got 2 creatures, and we got a whole lot of solid footings, but I still don't really like this hand. Given that we don't have much draw on this deck, we really want to see a creature early, and we've got the protection suite, but not much else to do with it. So I'm going to mulligan for the second time. Okay, we got our little hate bear. We'll keep this. And we got to put something down. I think we'll do a Fengraf. Say done. I'm going to lead off with a step and really slow roll this. I don't want to lead off with the Acolyte because we've already seen Edicts. Yeah, no, it does. We've got quite a bit of other protection suites, though, so much so that I'm not too worried about that. Okay, change of plans. Since I just drew into that, I'm going to cycle the step. Got our 3 lands. We'll probably hit at least 1 or 2 more in the next 4 draws, so we'll be okay. I'm going to put out that Lost Leonin to just mop up some edicts, hopefully. And then once I can maybe get a bodyguard out to eat another edict, I'm going to go the other route like this. Okay. Going to see a handful of hate and nothing he can grab. Hup, hup, hup. What's that, Mash Bernie? Good to hear from you. Oh, Toothmaker's in the house. Yeah, they weren't lost after all, right? I know. Found Leonin. Well said. The Prismatic's mostly for the Cycle Storm buying us a turn or 3 or 4, hopefully. All right. I think I'm going to bring out just the plane here. We'll drop the Bodyguard. I'm going to slow roll this. If he wants to use an Edict on a Bodyguard, I'm fine with that because we've got the Acolyte right behind it. That'd be a creepy thing to have under your couch, I have to admit. All right, he's probably sitting on a lightning bolt, which is okay because we've got a Bodyguard to keep our Acolyte safe and sound for now. I believe. Should I get the game on here? Interesting. I'm actually going to bring out this guy. I want to get the game going here. We'll attack. You never know. Stuff happens. Lucas Scratch. Yeah, we've done pretty good with this list. The last probably 3 outings have been like 3-2 or better. A lot of 4-1s. Had a random tournament about 8 months back, and I think I got a 3-2 with it against, you know, pretty solid metagame. But people really underestimate it. But White's big thing is protection and quality of creatures, and there's a lot of little tricks in this, and people, before they know it, it's like boop, or they get in that, you know, knee-jerk reaction where they're just like, oh, I'll just gain some life, and it's like, it doesn't really help you here. I mean, not really at all. It doesn't help you at all. Yeah, I dig it. It's funny when it beats like the traditional green deck, you know, you just prismatic and go in with protection. This is tough. Obviously, I think we lose the Bodyguard here, but I'm really afraid of a lightning bolt on our Acolyte, but I'm going to play like they don't have it, as we can at least do something here. Let's see. If I footing now. That'll make it a 3. I don't know if I want to wait around too long for that to go down. I'm going to throw this on here just for the damn extra little bit. Might regret it, but heck, that's a pretty fast little clock. We'll bring this dude out to keep our guy safe from black spells. Feeling a bit naked at the moment, but happy to hit for 3. Just pretend it's 6 because that's kind of how it equates to the life equals sickness spells. Yeah, good times. Oh, I've tried Crown of Awe many a time. There are not enough creature types shared here. Yeah, sooner or later they'll start making more flash enchantments that say draw a card. That'll be pretty sweet. Opponent's holding at 4 mana. We would be too if we didn't cycle that step. Okay, darn it. We're going to lose our Blessing. That's one of the better cards on our list. But against Jund, it's a bit of a random shuffle, right? We don't quite know what we're getting. Hopefully they're just sitting on a bunch of cast downs and they're like, damn it, I've only got like 2 turns left. If he draws dead. We'll see about that. But this is yet another one of those decks in my little backpack of goods that is just so fun to play. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. There's no helping that, ladies and germs. Boink! We're dead. And if we did have Prismatic, it wouldn't be in our graveyard yet. So before you jump on that train, that's more of a late game card. Okay, let's rinse, repeat. We'll bring out this for Edict Food. We'll bring out this for our heavy hitter. Waiting on Ichorclaw to get through more creatures than anything else. So it hurts, but that's why you don't want to overextend too much. It's more of a tall deck, meaning we build up, we enchant it, we protect it, and go in. That's why we don't like black, because they can edicts can go a long way against us. What do we got here, folks? Oh, look at this. Now, what's fun here is I could attack, give it pro black, and then make that a 0/1 permanently, and then he wouldn't be able to block anymore, but it will cost me my bodyguard to do that. I might consider it now. Very curious. I think I'm going to go that route. We'll rock here. I hope I don't see another cannonade. I think I want him to block this. I want to get rid of that. One more land and our Fengraf comes online. I'm going to give this pro black afterwards. He might not even block. That's why. But another fiery cannonade, and we're, our bodyguard will survive. But okay, first strike goes through. We don't have to worry about much else. Hiya! I'll save the bodyguard for real protection here. Now, if Edict goes down, I'm actually going to get rid of the Myr, not the bodyguard, given the toolbox of removal our opponent has. My wife's friend, or no, our son's kindergarten teacher made us this thing for helping out in the classroom so long ago. It's the tackiest coffee mug holder ever, but man, does it stop noise and prevent spills, and it's just so superior. Completely out of the blue, sorry about that. I just Snuggle Foxes in the house not too long ago, although I don't quite remember. Yeah, it was about every 6 months I try to dust this one off and show it to you guys. And I'm always happy when I do. There's part of me that would like to play this every week, and a few others like it. Let's see. Plus, you get that little, I don't know, bruised ego from the opponent's side. You can almost feel him going, I can't lose to this. It's like, well, if you look closely, it's got quite a few tools. Cleaning that Fengraf's going to bring back some hate pretty soon if we start drawing decently. But they're almost dead if you don't get in on the creatures. So, as predicted, we're going to lose the Myr. Going to keep our bodyguard sweet up. Hopefully we, depending if we land a good enchantment or not, we can practically win here. Okay, boop. We like that, and we're going to do this first off because it'll boost up the Ethereal Armor. It's a little counterproductive, but we hit for 4 instead of 3. We got protection there. They're not all Phyrexians. Okay. Interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. That's new to me. When did that errata happen? I didn't notice that. We really want a blessing to show up here for the instant speed. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Errata to Phyrexia. Interesting. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Errata. I had no idea that that happened behind the scenes. Back in June. Okay. Well, yeah, it was about 6 months back before last time I played, so I'm about 2 months overdue with that knowledge. It's not like you see these creatures all the time, so... Yeah, I was just looking the other night at the... I was like, did it always... Boy, that seems really long-winded. I thought it said Cat Soldier, and that's where my inquiry ended. Well, we still have first strike. Now, in this scenario, all we do is give it pro black and win. There's not... yeah, I guess red spells might do it. Yeah, he's just dead here. We've won. It's funny how many people don't see the bodyguard move, including myself about 3 months back, or it was less than that. I think it was about 4 weeks back. I made a super... We ended up winning anyway, but I could have won a turn sooner with the bodyguard move here. Of course, you know, they could have... you know what? They could have snuff out in response. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have the other next turn here. Should I just slow roll this? See, the problem here is if I call black in response, they can snuff out. And then we're really screwed. Should I slow roll it, guys? I'm going to bring out this dude. And I'm going to attack with both. Because we'll get... if he doesn't block, we win. Send it. Yeah, I'm sending it with the bodyguard so that we can get Monarch. He wants to snuff out in response. I'm fine with that. Otherwise, I'll just wait till next turn. Now, give us our card. Thank you, Bodyguard. Monarch Guard. Okay, now we hope we get the rest. Man, at this stage, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, that Fengraf can bring back Bodyguard, and sometimes that's awesome. Kind of land, you know, a battlefield of creatures staring you down. It's pretty great. We could call green here. We could just attack with both. That's kind of what's going to go down. I'm really fearing... I want to keep that bodyguard alive as long as possible. Unless he drops another creature, our line of attack is pretty basic here. We just attack. Don't have to worry about, you know, weather the storm, Marasa getting in the way, etc. One of the coolest things, though, is having Viridian Longbow on a Priests of Norn. You attack, usually for 3 or 4, and then at the end of turn, since it has Vigilance, you do a Tim effect, giving something -1/1 permanently. Remember that, folks. Or distributing, more than likely, the counters onto the face. Ouch! Well, that kind of sucks, but we can at least bring back a bodyguard here. You know, you can do like a double bodyguard move this next turn. That might be pretty fun. I guess we can't really do it at too big of an instant speed. All right. Well, we like this, right? Let's, we'll just throw this on here. I guess we'll throw it on this. Oh, yeah. We'll go all in on this. We'll say green, just so it gets through. The only thing that can really end the game here is a black spell onto that, so I guess we just let this go. You know, the knee-jerk reactions to keep it alive, but I think we'll let it go. Okay. Four mana up, and we'll call green. We'll attack for 5. Due to Solid Footing's ability. Do we win? We win. All right. I wish I knew his hand to see if I was being a little too conservative there, but you kind of have to win in Rome sort of thing, right? With Mercadian Merchant. Go! Yes, indeed. So yeah, I'm digging this. Always like me some white Infect. It always comes out of the blue. People don't know what to do, etc. So before I get back to the deck list here, I wanted to scroll down here while we're waiting for our next, hopefully, victim, as I'm fond of saying. Ban list. So this is a work in progress. I'm thinking maybe next... Oh, I'll get to that later. We will like to play first, yes. Well, if we're up against red, this looks pretty good. A little heavy on the lands, but we'll keep. It's nice to not miss a drop for a long time. I said keep. There we go. Infect today, Nick Sins. Yes, thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're white Infect. Like I said, the last 2 times we played this, I think we 4-1'd. A little bit different. Swapped out Sentinel's Eyes for the evasion package and Angelic Wings. It sounds a little clunky, but with all this protection running around, it's pretty good. One thing we don't want to see is Orim's Cure against black. We want to see our Angelic Renewal, but that is the way Magic rolls. We'll bring out our dudes. That is enough lands for the rest of the game, please, unless it wants to be a Haunted Fengraf against our opponent like this. Thank you for that, Shirazamon. Doot, doot, boom. All right. And again, I know I said it a few times. Apologies for last week's stream. It's been about a year or two since we've had big-time issues with, we'll call protection from black. This probably isn't going to live too much longer. Oh, he does it twice. Okay. Well, now we might want to be attacking with the bodyguard, right? Pays 8 mana for that. Yowza. But yeah, last week had quite a few hiccups. There was a Windows update, and it conflicted with OBS, and I thought I fixed this one issue that was happening, but it caused issues. And if they would just stop doing these endless damn updates, insert company X, every single product, every single thing, even OBS is guilty of that. It works perfectly, and then they're like, oh, we updated, and it's like, why? Maybe twice a year tops. Stop it. It's like they're justifying these endless silly jobs. Okay, we like this. This is the card we wish we had out a little bit earlier. So a lot of times you could sack the bodyguard, keep things alive. Bodyguard comes back. It's like you're playing 8 bodyguards. Yep, that's exactly it, Dreamer Stango. And everyone I talk to is frustrated about that, despite the country, whatever their profession is. It's just these endless walls of updates. And when you really dig into it, they're always useless. Or just like, oh, we changed the font of this background program that you never use, and it mysteriously used 4 gigs. It's like, what on earth? Yeah, we're probably walking right into a counterspell. Just trying to be the problem here. We haven't even put Infect on the board. Wonk. All right. This is the worst matchup. You'll see. If we're going to lose, it's going to definitely be the Swamps today. We fought through it last game, but that was a bit more less focused of a deck. Alrighty, so this is Demir. And we're out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tempted, Shiraz. Believe me, if I didn't stream so much, and I might stick to that too. Just threw out one of our old PCs, and I'm like wondering, like, well, maybe I should have kept it. But you know, they start moving like molasses because of updates. Buy some old one on the black market and just download stuff and keep it moving. But then, you know, the software always conflicts and end up running into all other issues. Alrighty. Opponent's a bit mana screwed, but I'm a little bit more worried on our end of things. Angler's going to show up very soon. Now keep in mind, Orim's Cure can target you, so against burn, sometimes keep you alive for a turn against an angler. You're usually going to lose that game anyway if that's your avenue of play. But yeah, I fired up my old one when I first started Propaganda. I used an older PC, and when I went to this one, it was like, oh my god, it was like crystal clear water, because you couldn't quite read like reminder text or, you know, flavor text and stuff unless you zoomed in really hard, and then it was a little foggy. Now it's just like pristine. I'm digging it. And I was tempted, not going to lie, last week to just delete that show because, you know, I'm all about quality and stuff, but then I didn't want people thinking that there was some little tech hiding in the woods or whatnot, but whatever. I thought I was out of the woods and it was all good to go, and then it was not. Okay, we've got our little dude out. Very tempted to put a Ethereal Armor on that now. Get out of Spell Stutter sprite range. If I do that, I can block the angler. I'm actually going to do it. I don't think we're going to win this game. He can snuff out here. Our Angelic Removal will trip. So the deal here is that we can Orim's Cure first. If it succeeds and we don't get Spell Stuttered sprited, then we choose to block. Little Fight. The video was fine. It was just a jet lag really bad on my end. Like, no. When it replayed a Little Fight, it was it definitely had stutters. I played it through and I was like, oh, cool, I'm out of the woods. And I was like, no, I'm not. Okay, we'll say yes to this. Boy, I wish we just were playing a normal here. Now our plan's out of the We can't do anything about the angler now. So it'll still take one. Yeah, it was stuttering all over the place. And so when I was playing back the feed, I was like, oh, good. I guess it was just on Twitch's end. And then I fast forwarded and I just saw my face just looking very stupid going for like 5 minutes. I was like, no, like the worst fear. Worst fear. Good grief. Quite the exaggeration. Keep the mystery card in hand. Okay, time to quit. Can't come back from this. I don't want to show them any more of our list, and we'll just put a nail down and go from there. The good news is, similar to Affinity, and they focus everything on red as far as defense and stuff. This most of these decks focus everything on, you guessed it, black. So we bring in both acolytes. We've got a COP blue. Curious, might use. I like the longbow. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Angelic Renewal definitely wants to come in. And I like that for a lot of reasons, mainly that it does cost 2 against, what do you call it? I like the longbow, but I think I can actually lose it. Gonna get rid of one more card. It'll probably be solid footing. Except that that's a saving grace if, whatchamacallit comes down. The suffocating fumes. That's what I'm talking about. This is a very tough choice. I think I lose a solid footing here. We are on the play. I could lose a land, but I don't want to. We're going to go like this. There we go. Paper Towel 315. I don't think I've ever played this person before. Got him to 8 life. Wish we were playing just normal. I should have maybe attacked just with the bodyguard. Yeah, we won't play first. We're going to open up our yard here. Mana's been doing good. We're a little bit flooded, but that's all right. We've got a Fengraf, so that's really like 3 lands because one of these is going to die and we're going to get it back. So we'll keep this. Oh, we've got Spell Stutter Speech Center already. Got to their Dreamer Stingo at the end of, actually, I think it's today's Pauper County Fair. That old commercial that we run. I think that's in the queue. It is indeed. And at the very end it goes, all proceeds to benefit the Spell Stutter Speech Center, if you listen very closely. Don't say that 3 times fast. Yeah, one of my favorite blue spells of all time. Yeah, my boy Sapphire went to the Modern tournament last night. He's got a red deck. Went 1-2. He's just breaking into the format, trying to figure things out, running in all the OP stuff. Good times. I'm going to represent a little bit of good stuff here. We'll bring out this. Good news here, the tempo of the play being that if they want to stay alive, they've got to, outside of Snuff Out, we see a Swamp Draw here. It's interesting. I don't really want to invest in the Nimbus Wings here, but just thinking tempo plays. I'd rather lose a Leonin, so I'm going to come in and thrash for 2. I'm probably going to, yeah, this will eat a Sprite. That's fine. This is when I really wish I did have solid footing. You know, if you go in with the Nimbus Wings plan there, it's kind of frustrating because, oops. You know, then next, yeah, you hit them a little bit, and then the next turn they drop Snuff Out, and you're like, dang it. But we can get that back with the Haunted Fengraf in a turn or 2. This is just a nightmare for ninjas. I mean, this thing has Vigilance. It's a 1-4. Keep in mind, 2-2 hits this. It's a 1-1, and then it's dead. So many players, they're just not used to Infect. They do not understand that it has Wither damage, so... Paper Towel always cleans up in tournaments. I know you said that a while ago. Don't worry, the lag's not bad. I'm seeing everything just fine. All right, we probably got a Snuff Out in hand here, especially since they don't have to worry about their life total. It's probably pretty invigorating, actually, to play against us. We'll go like this. Hey, we've got a nice in here. So much so that I think I'm going to try to egg this out with a Nimbus Wings. If he pops that for black... Okay, I'm going to take a bit of a chance here and just call black on this. I think he would have done a Snuff Out there if he had it. We'll say black. Now, unless they've got a bounce spell, we're feeling okay. Edicts suck. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That'll get around it. That's why I really want to drop that other Norn, or at least trip that Fengraf to get back to the Lost Leonin. But you can see why this is kind of a pain of a matchup. Yeah, kind of being a little counter happy there. Or so I think. Yeah, a flying protection from black against Dimir is pretty much GG unless they've got access to... yeah, that does absolutely nothing against us. Well, I guess that's a lie. You know, I've got the Fengraf, so there's that. But okay. It'd be funny just this turn just to do that. Be like, boop, boop, boop. Now, if I get a land here, play's going to be pretty obvious. Okay. So I'm going to do both. Well, shoot. You know, I could chop 3, boom, get this back. Make him eat a Fengraf. That's not too bad of a play, right? What do I prefer? I kind of prefer the priest to show up here. So I'm going to throw this on here. I'll probably eat a counter. Okay, now we're out of the woods. Ew, it's a white bordered. How dare they? What a disgusting card. Ugh. God. I don't even want to look at it. Oh, no, it's still there. Terrible. All right, I guess we got to look at it. Ugh, it's awful. Burn the heretics. That's ludicrous. Well said. Unless they want to trip their own relic, we'll still get back our Lost Leonin. And if we get flooded now, if you look really closely, we'll still be able to hard cast the Leonin. It'll be all right. Okay, we'll get rid of the wings. Really don't want our stuff flying. I don't blame them. What do we have here? Probably a cast down. It's a big body. 1/4 is tough to deal with. Ooh, ready? He shows an island. I haven't seen it play yet. What do we got here? There's the zombie fish. No big deal. Okay. Guess they can trip that in response, and we sacrifice the Fengraf for nothing if that happens. But, I mean, he can't really attack here. So... I'd rather him do it now. Let's do it right now. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. Cool. 1, 2. Whoop. Come on over. All right. Oh, we'll just attack here. It has vigilance. It's a slow roll, but I hope he attacks into us. A lot of people do. And then it'll be a 4/4 angler permanently. So even if that turns into a ninja, we don't really have to worry. Our vigilance crew will mop it up, in theory. But like I said, this is definitely the matchup we don't want to see. This or mono black, you know. Sure glad they brought in Relic. Oh, I was hoping he'd attack. Tempted to just come on over with everything here. I'll leave that in hand just for the mystery's sake. Mystery's sake. Is that the word? Yeah, Mercadian Merchant. That's about the only argument I've ever heard for white border that makes sense. But I'm so glad that Angler showed up and just eviscerated the graveyard, so we don't have to look at that disgusting white border. You know what I did to the last counter spell I saw that looked like that? It turned out like this. Make it a black border. Come on over, governor. You gonna turn it into a ninja so that it dies next turn? Kind of an inevitable 6-turn clock. I wish it was a little bit faster, but unless they give us an opening here, we're not so much. So it's less than the Infect, be too slow. You know, I've tried it a few times. And it's similar to other strategies in where you find yourself just wanting it to be more focused. There's not much fluff in this list. This is why sometimes I bring in COP blue, because this is usually obviously what we call. Now they might bring in an Echoing Truth. That would really ruin our day. And we know they got a Sprite in hand, so we're kind of a little bit neutered here. We might have to do a little bit of a bluff tactic where we tap 4 and play something for 2 and float 2 and Hope they bite or don't bite on the first one. That's always a interesting sequence. Always want to do our stuff before attacking. Nature of the deck. All right. Well, we know they've got that dude in play, so there's no reason to really do this now. I'll just attack again with this. In case he's got some sort of like, well, I don't know. Some sort of something. Burn them all. All right, they're going to be at 5, I believe. They can choose to block here. And we'll come on over for this. They need a hard counter here. You know what, I might have wanted to hold that. Our opponent seems a little counter happy. And it really doesn't do much to the board. But it suggests they don't have echoing anything. I mean, I'm sure they have decay, but it's only going to work on one dude. So here's the conundrum, right? Ninja can come over and get permanently weak over and over again. So now he's going to be kind of stuck to block. Now, keep in mind, we could run into a bit of an issue with our priest. If we attack and he throws a sprite and everybody in front of it, we lose him. So that's kind of a bummer. 3 cards left. I'm going to bring out the priests again. See if we eat a counter spell. Okay. Good grief. Does he have another one right behind that? This deck always seems to have everything. There it is. Boink, boink, boink. All 3. And to that I say, good day, sir. I'm going to attack with these guys. Snuff out. Well, that blows. I think I would have taken that down with just a fairy, right? So that'll be a 4/4. And we're edict food now, but the last few lists I've seen don't tend to run many, but you never know. Like I said, this is the matchup we don't want to see. Sure, we'll get rid of a priest, I guess. One card in hand. Soon to be 2, maybe. I'll bring this dude out. Boy, do I want that first strike. It'd be so cool to get a Ethereal Armor on board. Not so much. Yeah, the Umbros are cool. Sometimes it's I'm going to lean on the priests being our main guy there. Down comes another seer. I will attack with that Ichorclaw Myr. And I'll take out quite a big crew, because it'll be a 3/3 naturally. Even making that Gurmag Angler match the fairy power toughness. These fairies start attacking, they might be able to outrace us given the board control here, but I think we've got the respect with our protection package. If we can just land a protection from blue, I think we'll be all right. Well, this makes things really easy. We'll bring this out, so if anything does blow back, we're just going to do this. Attack! Yeah! Probably just holding the land. It's only a model. Keep that mystery card up, folks. All right. Darn blue. Maybe I bring in COP blue. For what? I don't know. Another target for Echoing Truth. Who's to say? Surprisingly effective in this matchup, though. I have to triple block it to kill it. All right. We'll say yes to this. Unless he trips it. Okay. Well, I would have waited till I did something, so I'll say no now. Okay. No. Haha. Still like our opponent's board, even though we've got him at 6. One Angelic Renewal away. Let me see what they have to say about this. Game log. bottom top, pretty standard fare. Is this a ninja showing? I almost want this to be a ninja. All right, cool. We've got an opening. And we just have to hit it. We can just land a Benevolent Blessing. Call blue. This should be all she wrote. 4 turns. Maybe not. We'll see. Anything other than a land. I shouldn't have said that. I cursed myself. All right. I'm just going to keep both these in hand. It's a nail biter, folks. Thank you for joining me. Propaganda Saturdays, as always, playing one of our fan favorites, White Infect. About every 6 months, we get a bunch of requests on this deck. So I'm always trying to adhere to what the public wants. But we're getting nibbled to death by fairies, and our deck is not really helping us out here much. Yeah. I got a new little River Boa versus Crypt Rat meme that I saw and dressed it up for the show. So, but again, a reminder, next week we will not have a show. We're going to be out taking my boy to college and such. Ugh, gosh. This is what you get for playing 23 lands. I want to be consistent, but then you suffer from flood too. All right. I don't think we're winning this one, guys, but I told you at the outset, this tends to be one of the tougher matchups. I'm very curious to see if my little Palace Guard tech, I still, be perfectly honest with you, haven't really run into a scenario where I use it. Prismatic usually gets us there, and Infect doesn't give them much time to do much about it. So, but it would be funny to just put a Benevolent Blessing on the Palace Guard and laugh all the way to the bank. Gotta watch your time, though, boy. Well, at this stage, we almost know that they've got the goods, but we'll try anyway. I probably should have tapped more land so that we kind of bait, like, hey, look, we've got all kinds of other good stuff here, but we don't. Yep. We'll just yield through the turn. And I could attack. Angelic Renewal would trip. The Blessing would fall off, and he's probably sitting on a cast down. So, okay, I don't really understand. Oh yeah, this is interesting, right? Well, if we do that, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ouch! I got a block here. Oops. Block here. 1 ninja activation. I think we're dead, right? That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. He still draws 2 cards, though. That really blows. But good on them for seeing the end of the game in short supply. Take quite a bit for us to pull this one off, especially with 2 lands. If I was hoarding enchantments and anticipating the counter happiness of our opponent, that'd be one thing. But like I said, every deck's got their nemesis, and Swamps is ours. That's our sideboard, but not doing too much help here. Well, we have one little Hail Mary effect here. We can attack like this and get the win if he doesn't block and doesn't have counter spells. That's a pretty tall order, right? Cool. Where were you last turn? Gonna come in and that would have hit for 5. Alrighty. Well, we lose this one. There's no sense in going through the motions. So we're 1-1. WW followed by an LL. That is definitely how this deck tends to go down. Real quick, I want to go over a quick little ban list suggestion. Now, this is so far what I've collected over the last few, actually, days. Just thinking about, because I did a squirrel video on Chatterstorm being an issue. And now, note to everybody out there, I'm sure it's going to be missed on everybody. There's a lot of problems with Pauper. One of my moods is to just completely reset everything. Nothing's banned, and we'll go from there. Maybe it'll self-correct. I doubt it. What I think you'll end up with is a Super Tron or Super Storm list that just can do everything even more than it's doing already. However, I do believe I sit in a natural or interesting spot, being that I've been playing since the beginning, and I've seen the folly of what people think fixes things and what doesn't. That being said, this is what I'm proposing. I do believe we should get rid of the tower just to completely stop the Tron menace. However, when you do that, Fairies shows up. And the core of those 2 decks is this card and this card. Everybody's talking about this and this, which are a problem right now. But the second these go away, this comes back to this, and we get this horribly boring format again. So much so that I even think, even though I love this card, I think this needs to go away too, because there's just too much abuse. Especially Familiar's engine uses Snap too. Now, obviously, the only thing I've negated is Affinity. I've really looked long and hard. A Tog, Fling, all these things. I don't think a Tog so much, or Fling. There's so many counters. There's Hydro Blast. There's Red Elemental or Blue Elemental Blast. There's just so many ways, and they have to go all in. So I think they should be it makes for exciting games. But I am starting to think that the indestructible artifact lands are probably the bane of what needs to really, really go. Outside of that, you can get rid of some other stuff. So, but yeah, that's my what about Affinity. I mean, it's quite a few, but pretty much and I was even thinking, what about just Storm? Make Storm banned in Pauper, but then you still have Familiars and Tron will start turning into this flicker, ephemerate, fog lock. You can bring in 4 relics, 4 Fairy Macabre, and it's never enough. They just kind of go this way. They'll go, teachings out, Pulse of Marauders at instant speed. Oops, sorry, I get that back. Oh, now I gain 6 life. Oh, hey, 6 are on the stack. Now I'm going to bring my life total up to 36 with Weather the Storm. And it's just, you've all been there. And if you haven't, trust me, it happens all the time. So I do like Wildfire decks too. And that's why I'm really hesitant, Lucas Scratch. I really like that too. But it'll keep Tron. Yeah, that's why I'm suggesting you get rid of this, Barba Polka. Just the one, so that Tron's gone. Familiars has to play fair. Everybody's got a chance. So Displace, I don't believe so. I believe that's the one. Can't quite picture that one. Is that the blue one? I was considering all Storm decks, but so this is for discussion the rest of the show. If you come up with something, whatnot. I've been at this long enough, and I've played thousands of tournaments. I'm telling you, as a guy that really likes zeroing in on a meta and seeing the problem and trying to fix it, it's been about 5 years straight with Tron, and unless they draw bad and you get incredibly lucky, it's a bit of a fool's errand to see if you can go from there. Exile up to 2 target creatures control. Yeah, it's Displace is so specific. I don't think that'll be too big of a problem. Whereas Snap is just such a. I've considered heck, even Rewind, but 4 mana, it's like, if you get to 4 and you can pull that off, fine. And there's the 3 mana one, but that's really stuck in the thinking of what is it, non-creature spell, I think it is, and lets you untap. It might still be a problem, but for right now, don't want to overdo it, but do want the format to be fun and playful again, as far as being able to get outside of the 3 decks, one of which we just saw, which is kind of nice, Demir. So anyway, that being said, I'm going to jump right back in here. I don't really need coffee anytime soon. And for those of you that are wondering, sometimes when I join, if somebody jumps in and joins at the same time, it's maddening because I have to reset the software. So that's why I always just load it up and go from there. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, so I think, what's that saying where we're losing the forest for the trees, or the trees through the forest? I think everybody's so stuck on Chatterstorm and Galvanic Relay and such being a problem, which they are. They don't remember the big bully on the block that steps in right behind that is a lot less, good thing about Chatterstorm, comes out really quick and you're dead. Tron, you're staring at the same screen for 55 minutes and dying of despondency, and then you don't want to play for 2 or 3 days. You tell me which is worse. I'll rather take a Chatterstorm metagame any day over that. All right, we'll keep this. We've got protection. We've got kind of a clunky win if we don't draw anything else, but the steps will say something about that. We'll keep this. Hopefully we've seen nothing but swamps across from us, and in the first case, swamps and red. It'd be nice. Sometimes you get an auto win against like elves and stuff. You just fly over and just crunch, 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 and they're trying to gain life with like a Well-Wisher, and you're just laughing. Tron is a Phantom Menace. There's a lot of Phantom Menace. But see, that's the thing. So many people are just, don't pick on Tron. The second you just pick on Tron, Familiar is just, it's just as good of a deck. I mean, it's like 0.01% behind it if you've seen somebody pilot it well. All right, we're up against Slivers outside of Journey to Nowhere. I think we'll be all right. Got a bit of a go here. Let's, we'll bring out the Bodyguard. Bring out the Bodyguard. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Next turn, we'll drop the Myr, Nimbus Wings, and hopefully that will show us what the future brings. Nyuk, nyuk. this scenario, we might just want to sacrifice that bodyguard for a blocker, probably versus a big old fat lord of the 5/5 persuasion in a few more turns. We don't want to see any flanking. Okay, kind of like this, a little bit of a slow roll. Sliver's always one of those decks. Just get out from under things way too quickly. Okay, so this is going to hit even harder. So I'm going to fall on this. Now this gives it +1/+1, but if it has vigilance, then it does the other thing. So I was mistaken when I said that earlier. I want to keep the Ichorclaw Myr back. That's more of a beater against this, being that it can turn into a 3/3 and be kind of a heavy hitter. And as of right now, I think I'll just chill. So next turn we'll just wings, fly over the battlefield, and flash behind that. You know, it's right when you play solid footing is when you draw your Priests of Norn, like the next turn. You're like, son of a gun. It's got to be a lord, right? Nope. Hey, we like this. A little bit of a reprieve from the governor. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. Well, our days are done. Vine's showing up. Oh, Sinew Sliver. Ooh, wow. He threw out everything, didn't he? Vines is gone and Winding Way is gone. He really needed that land. Okay. Feeling good. All right. Tempted to just kill that, but I'm just going to get around it. All right. We're just going to play this. Throw the wings on. And give him a pretty quick clock here. The Vines is in the yard. He might have another one in hand. That would really suck. Until then, 3/3 is nothing to sneeze at. Soon to be a 4/4. And then our opponent will be no more. I know that's the fear of every white infect mage. That Earth counts all of about 3. Is that we get bested in the poison department. I'd be lying if I said it hasn't happened at least once. Sometimes your deck just draws bad. We saw that. You know, and that's always the case, right? So last round, the deck we don't want to see, Dimir, and that's when we get flooded. This just always seems to be the way, whether you're playing Modern, Commander, whatever. You know, you draw good against the good matchups already, and then the ones that are tough is when you get screwed or flooded. I think that's just built into the game. I don't know how they did it. It just works, though. All right. Oh, crap. He's got reach, folks. Everything's got first strike. Crap. Well, we're going to have to be careful on what we choose to go with here. Maybe I can cycle into some goods here. Not too worried if I can get rid of that dude quickly. We'll be all right. Hey, check that out. Okay. Well, That's not going to be able to go forward. That'll be red. That'll be white. Well, that's all flash damage. I think I'm just going to... Let me just attack here. I really want to get rid of that Reacher. I'm going to have to use the Bodyguard first because of that Benevolent Blessing. I don't want that falling off. Okay. There's enough there. Okay. So I want to get rid of that Reach dude first of all. Get rid of him. Now that's only that is enough there. Okay, we'll say okay here. I'm gonna say we'll say green on this. Green. Then I'm gonna say we'll put this on. And then I'm gonna say protection from white. Red gets me a little bit worried, but a lot of times they play Journey, so I'm willing to chance it. I'll say white here. Make sure to do it in that order, ladies and gentlemen. No, this isn't Chalmeno's Blessing. It doesn't. Nothing else falls off, so we're good to go. Slivers. W. Now then, what did we see? Angelic Renewal might not be that good. Longbow we don't want at all. I don't think I want the renewals in this matchup. Cures are awfully good. combat damage and such. I'm going to bring in all 4 of those, treat this like a red deck, and probably just a Prismatic Strands just to kind of hope for the best. I guess you could argue an Angelic Renewal might be better than a Strands. I think I'm going to go that route because depending if we see a bunch of, the frustrating thing about that kind of Slivers deck is it's a bit prismatic, right? So Strands feels a little underwhelming. There's going to be scenarios where they have all green lords or something, but in the most part, it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to go like this. We can always trip a bodyguard, say pro whatever, trip it again via Angelic Renewal, make it this, going for the kill. We'll see. No, Dreamer Stingo, that's why that card's so good. It costs less, technically. I mean, it's still 2, but it's generic, and then it has that upside. So, oh, this is beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is why you really want to play a little bit too many lands, because like I said, we cycle away 4 of them, and the other 3 go get our creatures again. And the upside of that is you almost never need to mulligan if you have a creature in your hand. Now, if this was against Swamp or Red, this would be like, I'd have to slow roll this to get to 4 mana so that you could Blessing in response to the removal that's in their hand. Ah! All right. Well, we got this. Not much to stare at. I really want to top deck a Orim's Cure. Keep our dude alive if he runs into combat. But that Ethereal Armor is just going to be nuts. The goal is to just sit back on that Blessing, be able to respond to like journeys or I don't know what. I'll be honest. Oy, what do we got here? Oh, more goods. What did he call? Here we go. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I know Saturdays are a busy streaming day, and I appreciate you hanging out with me, given all the choices you got. But yeah, we've got a courtesy of Comedy Bang Bang, a funny little skit coming up, Devious cover-up, in the new River Boa versus Crypt Rats, which is just a cool little hole-in-the-wall trick I learned from, or not learned, I just saw. My wife actually shared it and was like, hey, would this be good for your channel? I'm like, would it? That's awesome. What do we have here? We know this can't be a Cannonade. Provoke. Oh, man. Damn it. It's too soon for that. Oh, well, at least his sliver will die. Don't attack, don't attack, don't attack. Oh, he attacks. Well, they're going to trade. That really blows. This is why I wanted Orim's Cure in our hand, right? We say the next 1 damage from this is prevented. And do I think I have to block, right? If I say block. And yep. Boink. All right, now we're creatureless. That sucks. But they've got a 1/1 out of the deal, so that's not that bad. Want a little story about bannings? Oh, sure. Thank you for adding me there. That's how I can tell that you're there. A little nervous now. I kind of had an all-in strategy there. We're going to get our Lost Leonin back, but if we don't have access to the Benevolent Blessing or a trick via Orim's Cure, it's not going to last very long, is it? 4 lands down. I'll cross off the one that we know came out and this. All right, now we're up to 3 mystery cards. It looks like we're going to be going to a game 3 unless I draw really strong here. Now, Priests of Norn would be pretty sweet. That'd be a really nice top deck just because of the big backside. Yep. Okay, I kind of like this. A little bit of slow roll, giving us a bit of a break. Okay, so EOT, we'll get this back. We'll play Bodyguard. We'll have backup plans, and then we'll hopefully be good to go. I'm not quite sure how this works. I've only played this game a little bit. Yeah. Mtmentat, first day ban, Chatterstorm. No, it's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much what would happen if the Wild West strategy I was talking about would happen, right? All right, we're on a super quick clock here. We're going to have to be very selective in how we go about this sequence. But for right now, let me do this now. Yield. They don't have first strike or anything yet, so we'll be able to hurt a Lord quite a bit. Block with the Bodyguard. And sacrifice it, make it live. And I think we might have enough to punch through, depending. They're representing a Prismatic Strands. Let's curious. Always going to lead with the Bodyguard just in case they got some sort of like instant speed something or other. Bring him out first. That way our Lost Leonin isn't so lost after all. No. Yeah, we're just going to do that. There's a chance that he provokes the white creature there, and then I'll be kind of screwed up. This is a close one. We'll see. Yep, I agree, Shirazman. That was... I just crack... You know, that's their job. That's their professional job. And it's like, oh, we'll just print... Oh, that's the comment. It's like, I know you got to push the boundaries and stuff, but how many times can you burn your hand on the stove? It gets a little ridiculous. I don't really want these white critters running back and round. Let's see what we've got here. This is a tight turn here. Show game log. Let's all focus, shall we? Muscle, Sliver, Sinew, and Hunter showing up. Hunter, Sliver on Leonin. Okay. Cool. Sinew, Sliver's got a block Bodyguard. All right, that's cool. And Muscle Sliver, Bodyguard. Okay, well, I guess I'll... Well, if he's got Prismatic... Okay. So if he has Prismatic, I'm going to let the white through so that if he calls it, everything lives. Bodyguard against Muscle, Hunter against that. I'll do the thing. First we'll set up blockers. Block here. Block here. Say OK. I will go like this. Calling red. Unless he's got an answer here. That will really suck. I can at least get rid of it. We'll do this in response so we can at least trade. We're only going to take 3, but now we're in the top deck mode here. Lose 2 critters. That kind of sucks. Stack is getting messy. Destroy an enchantment. Nice play. All right. Well, that's a pretty good card against us, Ray of Revelation, that's for sure. Ah, our guy's dead. If we can get rid of a Lord, that Sliver will die. Yep, it's taken 2. Hey, that's cool. Except now we really hope we don't hit Bodyguard, right? That kind of blows. Can we survive? One more Lord, that's too much. However, best case scenario, we just get back the other. I think it's best to do this EOT and lick our wounds. Yeah. So see how Prismatic Strands here, it's like, what are we going to call? It's too prismatic, right? It's not focused enough color-wise. So Lord drops here, we're screwed. I'm happy for Slivers. That deck always gets a little... It's not taken seriously enough. It's so flexible, especially given the mana base that it has. Pauper Tim says, when Pauper first came out, we had 7th edition through Dark Steel and soon fit on. After tournaments, it finally started to stand out. Very quickly, people were calling for bans. This is true. I remember the days. Those are white border days. 7th edition. Uh-oh. Vine sending us packing. I guess we can Blessing. It's kind of a stay alive play, right? We'll call green. Take that, sucker. There we go. We are on one of my favorites, mono white Infect. We've beaten Jund. We lost to Dimir, which I knew was going to happen, and we're playing pretty even with Slivers at the moment. So, white counter spell. That's a good way to look at it, Mercadian Merchant. I like the way your brain works. Hey, he'll stay alive a little bit longer, right? We might get a Priests of Norn. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. That's the sound effect I hear. Anyone playing Diablo 2? I'm playing Diablo 1. I just played it yesterday. Oh, look, he was so eager to use that Ray of Revelation. We got to remember that's in the side there. Of course, where I got a reprieve for 1 turn, and then it flashes back for green. We're alive! We're dead. Okay, off to game 3. I think we sided right. We just never saw our sideboard, right? We brought in everything we needed for that. Orim's Cure did not show up. I like what we have here. I'm just going to do a superstitious shuffle. Maybe lose 1 solid footing. Of course, that's when we draw that and we never see the rest of it. Here we go. Yeah. I'm going to go get a little coffee reprieve and bathroom break after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for plenty more games. Heck, I might even play more than 5 rounds today because I'm going to miss you guys next week. Get so used to doing this. Got quite a few leads on the job front still. And things are starting to feel like they're looking up a little bit. Put out a new reel. That's no small feat. I think I got it down to like 1 minute, 2 seconds, and it's everything I've almost ever worked on, including a lot of propaganda stuff, because I was like, hey, man, I work really hard on this stuff. I might as well put it. Editing reels, you know, you put like 1 or 2 seconds of really eye-popping footage, and you set it to a beat and such, and don't put the link up, Littlefied. I don't need my personal life going through there. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's nice to have that behind me. All right, yeah, we want to play first. Can't keep this. We don't have any threats. We'll mulligan. We've got threats. We'll keep. I'm going to throw this back. Done. I think I'm just going to drop that step and go. I want that Myr out, and then I want to be able to just sit back on Benevolent Bodyguard and protect it. Staying alive. Yeah, this one, it's frustrating, is why we play extra lands. Don't want to cycle it at this stage. This is right when we're not going to draw any more lands. I bet we're going to be stuck at 2. It's just how the mana gods work. That's why I've gone up to 23 in a monocolor list. What's this guy, crazy? Yes, I am. I've been called many things. Hey, look at that. It likes us. We'll do this. Now, next turn. I think next turn is just going to be Bodyguard Nimbus if we don't draw anything else. So. Yep, story of my life, Shiraz. I think it's a story of a lot of people's lives. Unless you don't care. If you've had a few beers or just chilling out, then that's when you have those perfect draws and you write notes to yourself like, Jesus, nothing beats this. And then the next day you're serious and you look at it, you're like, good God, I'm flooded or screwed every single game. What's going on? Don't be a journey. All right, cool. I'm tempted to just thrash into that. Of course, nobody will fall for that these days. Okay, Bodyguard, I hear you. We'll go like this. And I'll throw the wings on there. I'll get in good damage. It's my least favorite target for Nimbus Wings, but if Ethereal Armor is behind this, I'm going to feel pretty good. In this way, if he does have the Ray of Revelation trick, we can still be pretty protected with the Bodyguard, and then Ichorclaw Myr is going to be a 3/3, which is nothing to sneeze at. Easily one of my favorite decks of all time, though. I got to build this in paper. Keep meaning to. I've got everything. Sun's always getting me with that Golgari Brown scale. Oh, look at this. Well, I guess we keep it so that this doesn't fall off. Boy, this guy is just really hurting us with the ultra hate here. Really? He's got a vines behind that too? Ooh-wee. Well, it's gone. That was a 2 for 3. Yeah, I've always tried to make Somber Hoverguard work. In fact, there was a list by his, I think his online name is _Zodiac that I almost played today, but I just couldn't get the, couldn't get it to quite gel right. Makes any sense? All right, 2, 3. This is when we really want to draw that you-know-what. They're sitting there on all this hate. It's like, okay, we'll just do this. I'm getting really worried. We're a bit naked here. If I see another forest drop, I will not block because of the steroid effect of Vines of Vastwood. Okay. I will block this. Depending. It's just another lord. Okay. I'll still block this. Lords can die. If you keep blocking the same one and then you kill another one, then all of a sudden they forget, like, oh, look at this. Being enchantment. Oh, I love this draw. Boom. Boom. Put this on first. Now we attack for 5 infect damage. And I think I want to encourage a bloodbath here. I could say pro white right now and he blocks with the Lord. Should I do that? We've got a bit of a... Yeah, I think I'm going to do that right now. I'll just force him to kill that Lord. Sure. We'll come in here and we'll say... I think white would probably be the best. Actually, it might be green, huh? Because we've already seen vines. But he's already played one. I'm just going to say white. Because of Benevolent Blessing, it doesn't fall off. And he can't attack back into us. So I've been lazy since I played Magic. It's a lot of fun. I'm telling you, outside of Dimir, and like I said, I've beaten Dimir plenty of times. It just tends to be the deck that you know, that's when you draw bad, right? And we did. We just got flooded for days. So it doesn't look like much. If they're not paying attention, they're dead next turn. Now then, what to lose? Best thing about that priest, man, is that vigilance. It's just like such a wall. Yeah, that's why I went like that, Dreamer Stango. Vines is a little tricky, but we've already enchanted it, so I just hope he doesn't draw that Ray of Revelation. I mean, God, he's brought in a lot of hate. Fragmentize, Ray of Revelation, Vines. Vines make sense. A bit of an aggro pull. I get it. I'd play it too. It can go both ways. I like efficiency. But man, this is one of the creepiest cards. It's just, ugh, man, eerie. So now if we get like a bodyguard we call green, we just win. I'm not worried at all about this stuff here. All right. We need something good. Let's cycle into something good. That is not it. Yeah. Shoot. Gotta slow roll this, guys. Not much I can do here. Protected from white, but I can't attack. Not out of the woods yet. And he might draw his hate yet. Easily the best designed sliver deck against this deck I've ever seen. I've never seen this much hate or access to it, especially with Chatterstorm running around. This might be somebody that's just not, has no idea what the metagame is, just likes playing slivers, and all the power to him. Sometimes it works. Yeah, I played Magic. My son and I play paper Magic, but it's just because he likes to play his old man, and I can't hold a candle to him in Commander. He's just... I play my one little Madness Vampire deck, get lucky about 1 in 10 games, and it's not that fun because he's playing like a super counterspell heavy deck. I know it sounds funny for a commander, but he made it work. It's pretty nasty. Even in 4-player games, he can pull it off pretty well. Alrighty, well, our guy's going to crash and burn here. I think we're going to be 1-2 at the break. I thought we'd be easily 3-0, but we ran into the Nemesis, and then we ran into Ultra Hate. Okay. I don't mind this at all, because if I top deck just about anything, I'll be all right. Let's see. Can I live though? That's 16 damage. I'm kind of forced to do this. What are my outs here? I mean, I can't block. It does that. He flashes back the enchantment. My stuff still dies, and I take 12. So let's go down to 2. Crunch. Yeah, that Ray of Revelation is quite the Ray of Revelation. Don't be a land. Hey, that's kind of cool. But we can't really live. We can pretend we can. Let's see if... I can block, keep that dude alive. Problem is, we're going to have to... Yeah, we've lost. It's all right. We'll try to race even here. Maybe they'll play a little what do you call? Show a little weakness. There's no way we can unless they come at us with everything. There's no out, and they should. Maybe we should have brought Prismatic in. Just kidding. Hey, look at this. It's a reprieve from the governor. Problem is, just to stay alive, we have to do the opposite. Well, that'll keep us alive for a turn. I'll teach them, right? We'll do this. Thinks he's got us. We'll just cast it. We'll say us. I wish we could make one here, but we can't. We gotta save us, because we're actually wait. Oh yeah, it has to be one target, right? Any target. Well, sorry, priest. We've got to choose us. We'll prevent it. Use that ray on. Oh yeah. Yeah, I could probably make Affinity work given my Charbelcher style list. Don't ever want it to go away. It's a good deck. It's just frustrating when what do you call Gorilla Shaman doesn't have any effect. That's kind of what keeps it in check. But that's what I was preyed upon, was the ability to oh, what's he got here? Vines? Oh, good for them. I'm glad they beat me that way. 4 is prevented, but 8 comes through now. Crunch a bunch. As we roll to this, we'll be right back, guys. I got to use the restroom. I'll see you in just a few.
Let's take a look at a photo of me without any makeup at all. Yeah, it takes a lot of work to get this face camera ready every single day. Let's take a look. First, Jenny the makeup girl applies concealer to cover my blemishes and bronzer to give me a healthy glow. And just a little eyeliner to make these baby blues pop. I'm allergic to cotton and wool and can't wear normal clothing, so my sweater and pants are applied with body paint. As a lifelong Trekkie, I refuse to take off my Spock ears. I swore I would wear them until Chris Pine dies. So Jenny adds putty to smooth them out and round the edges. But now, my ears are too big, so Jenny applies prosthetics to balance the rest of my features. Unfortunately, those prosthetics added several inches to my height, which doesn't match our camera setup, so that amount is surgically removed from my shins. Youch! I'll get those stitched back in after the show.
Looking good?
Oops! We forgot the most important thing! The electronic larynx that gives me my trademark voice. Without it, I'd be just another pretty face in the crowd. All right, testing, testing. Hey, that sounds pretty good. All right, Reggie, your turn.
Thanks, Scott. See you out there. this weekend only. Don't miss the 14th annual Pauper County Fair, featuring Mud Buttons' famous chili cook-off, avant-garde justices' free legal advice, Moments Peace meditation seminar, and much more. Then rock the night away with the hottest bands, including Ancient Grunge, Tamir Battle Ragers, The Shredding Winds, Martyrs of Ash, The Distant Melodies, Architects of Will, The Blasted Herbs, and many more. Arrive before noon and get a free Merit Lager at the Guild Gate. Tickets on sale now. Kobolds and kids under 10 are free. The 14th annual Pauper County Fair.
All proceeds to benefit the Spellstutter Speech Centers.
And there it is, the Spellstutter Speech Center. Okay, we have Mulligan 1. We'll keep this. Go to here. I put back a land. Lead off with a bodyguard and hope we can turn this around. I'm having a lot of fun, even though we're 1-2 on the day. But how'd you guys like that new Chatterstorm? If you haven't been on YouTube lately, it's new to you. It's about 2 days old. Put that animation together. Oh, it's artifact time. Let's see what we can do. Code decoding. That's how we roll, man. I'm sorry, would you rather look at a empty chair for a few minutes or be entertained? That's how this channel works. Yeehaw. All right, here we go. We are not like other streamers. This is trying to be a TV show, as hard as it might. Or I could play music you don't agree with. Thank you for that. And I'll catch a lot of people off guard. They're like, what? Wait, was that a real commercial? It's like, nope. MTG parodies all the way. We've got about 50 of them now. The Squirrel was the newest one, and last week we debuted Circle of Protection Motors. I'm glad we surprised you. Hopefully our opponent's not expecting this. I doubt they are. Zero Club. Way to aim for the bottom there, opponent. Oh, maybe it means they like low curves. I can agree with that. All right. Now with the bodyguard backup, we can do some stuff. Yeehaw! Ooh, I don't know if I want to put that on there yet. You know what? I'm just going to get some more threats out. We've got bodyguard backup. We'll be all right. These dudes look terrifying, man. And apologies, I did not catch the new errata that all of these are Pyrexia now, so it's kind of trippy. Okay, I don't know why. Unless he's got another one right behind it. I'll say red. Affinity, sometimes for as much powerful as it is, it can be very one-dimensional in its removal suite. You just say anti-red and it kind of works. So we are threatening with a bit more damage here. Kind of want to see an Atog drop. It's always fun to attack into an Atog. They pump it up and then it dies on the end step because it's got weather damage. Okay, he's probably got a Galvanic Blaster 3 in hand. What do we have here? But please, code decode. Spread the word. We're kind of low man on the totem pole streaming-wise. See many streams with like thousands of viewers and just don't understand what the algorithm is we're missing. We've been at it about 5 years and we'll continue to do so. Because we are all about quality, not quantity. There's the red I was talking about. All right, I'm just going to call red on that but blessing if I don't draw anything else and go from there. I'm just going to play this. Since we've got an avenue, we're just going to do it. Red, I'll put this on there and fly over for the rest of the damage next turn, but red. And attack. Really like Nimbus Wings. Again, it was Sentinel's Eyes in place of that, giving it vigilance, but did cost one less, but wasn't quite worth it. Thunderous Wrath. Oh, we got a little bit of a rogue brew coming at us here, huh? Really want to draw our Ethereal Armor here, and then I'll be kind of lights out with Nimbus Wing combo. That'll be quite a bit of damage. I think that's enough to get through, actually. Yeah, it is. Beautiful island. That's right. Popper Tim. We've done 2 Wild Mongrel Bubblegum commercials. Some old purists like me and others like the original. Then my brother voiced the newest one. Not the most talented voice actor, but it's nice. I just did it out of complete nepotism of just wanting to have my brother alongside me since he doesn't play too much Magic. I'm just going to try to shut the door here as fast as I can, guys. I'll make this a 3-3. Put them on a 2-turn clock. A 3-3 flying cat with poison. That's pretty fun. Good times, right? Never out of the woods against Affinity. They can go crazy and just fling stuff. How cool would that Ichorclaw Myr have been if it was a... what do you call? That's the damn armor. Ethereal Armor. I keep forgetting that one. Yeah. Do we win this one? A little bit too slow of a setup. We've churned through a Thunderous Wrath, Galvanic Blast, and Lightning Bolt, but like I've warned you all before, sometimes they have access to Vedelkin Centaurk or Echoing Truth if they're of the flexible persuasion, but most of the time Affinity pilots lean way too heavily on red. For good reason. It's very flexible. I like the individual art of that chromatic star in the graveyard, but it's just a little too centered and, I don't know, too structured. I know it's kind of what artifacts are. Just a little tilt or something would have made that a little bit better. Maybe one of the prisms blinding 20% of the frame. I don't know. All right, so that's usually how things rock. Most decks have, I've been over this before, one style of damage. Like they lean on black or they lean on red or sometimes white. And if you can call it right, you got it. COP red comes in. We will not be needing our longbow in this matchup. The Orim's Cure is going to be awesome. So much so I think I'm going to lose all of our Angelic Renewals. It's frustrating. I kind of like to keep those around, but Orim's Cure is just, sometimes they think they've got you with a tog and you can target yourself with this and it just puts you over the top. Prismatic Strands is nice if you know you're going to run into a tog, but these days it's a lot of 4/4 artifact men coming at you. So I'm not going to roll like that. Now, curious note, the Crimson Acolyte, I'm tempted to bring in, but we've got quite a bit of a hate there. And now Nimbus Wings serves double duty in that it kind of provides our evasion body outside of the... normally when we'd have the Sentinel's Eyes, you would still have to just combat trick it through. Not so much anymore. So we've got fling material. I think we're just going to try it like this, guys. We'll do a superstitious shuffle. Throw a solid footing right there. And go from there. Maybe lose a solid footing for a crimson, but we'll cross that bow when we get to it. All right. Here we go. Picking 0 club. Oh, boy. Great. I hope the feed's doing okay. Let me check something real quick. Okay, no drops. Good. That little warning I got, I don't know if that showed up in the screen. Just maddening. It's like, why? Why is it always on a Saturday that they, oh, we changed your password on this cloud that you don't use. You must update. It's like, no, I don't. Leave me alone. Leave my computer alone. It works fine without updates. Mulligan. I guess we'll keep. This is just the lowest totem pole crap. We'll keep. I guess we get rid of one of these. Already got one and we got Bodyguard backup. Yeah. I swear, software updates are just people justifying their jobs. It's like, no, really, you need me to stay on staff because there's a new update and if without it, everything will crash and burn. If you don't change this to have a gold bordered font. Everyone needs it. Our inbox are flooded. If you know one of these programmers, please ask them to stop. Life should mean more than irritating others. That would be a terrible thing. You have all these skills as like a software engineer. You just keep trying to justify your salary or something by being like a digital mosquito to just millions of people. Ugh. In terms of popularity, as someone relatively new to the MTG scene, Magic Online UI is not very appealing. Yeah, it's true, Cody the Code. The phone is quite hard to read what's on the board. Yeah, it's not much you can do about it. I do prefer the more of the brooding chess game sort of, we can at least see the cards, whereas Arena is just so loud and glowy that I'd argue that, especially as an editor, movement and illumination are the first things that distract you. And there's plenty of that. And then you add the sound effects and such, and pretty hard to provide commentary or any sort of focus to a metagame or a deck design on that. So I really prefer it. I'm a programmer, says Popperton. Trust me, there is often a lot to do update-wise. Well, it's good to have one defensive mindset in the board, so I'm not just hollering at the narrative, but good grief. I tell you, Popperton, when I dive into the notes of what the update is, almost every time it's like on the Apple side, it's like, oh, GarageBand needs this whole new suite of horns. I'm like, well, I don't even use GarageBand. And yet, you know, I look at the entire program and it's this big, and then the update's this big, and it's just for this one program that I don't use. And it's like, you must do this. And it just keeps nagging you, like, update now? Remind me later? Tomorrow? If you wait too long, then you're really screwed. But with me, it's like I've had some, I've lost some clients in the past because on the Mac side of things, if you wait too long, I'm talking months, you know, you've got a project that's like 6 months to finish an edit or something, when it's like a movie or whatnot, and you're like, well, I'm not going to risk updating now. And then by the time you do, the thing runs out and you got to buy all the projects again, and it's just nuts. All right, this cycle takes much. Oh, he's disconnected. All right, well, let's give them to the 20 mark and see if they come back. I'll show the game log here. Let's see if our opponent's going to be. Oh, says he's back. Let's see. Yeah, totally Dreamer Stingo. Dragonfly 123. He's really going deep with that Ash Barons. No kidding. I think he's searching his last 5 commander decks. All right, this is making for a bad stream. We're just going to go into another matchup here, guys. Sorry for the blink there. We'll create here and go from there. Who knows? Says they were there. I didn't see him. Whatever. We'll go over the deck list here as we wait for the next person to show. So yeah, this list, I'm very proud of it. I really like the, I mean, we're technically, what, 2-2 now, but who's fooling who? We've got 23 lands, which jumps out to most people, but as I've said, 3 of them are for sacrificial purposes, being the Haunted Fengraf, and then we try to cycle the other ones. A lot of times we don't, but more on that in a bit. Let's see what we're up against here. Yeah, we want to play first. We'll kill this. All right, we have 3 lands. We've got protection. We've got all kinds of goodies here. We'll keep this. And I think I'm going to lead off with that step. We'll play it. Be careful to play the plains next, because that Orim's Cure does not say if you control a Secluded Steppe, you can do this for free. It says plain. And now we really like having that Orim's Cure back, because it'll keep our Ichorclaw Myr alive. At least that's the theory. Now, I'm tempted, depending if this is just typical burn. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, a little second thought there. All right, well, Bodyguard shows up. That's pretty cool. I'm going to slow roll this. I'm going to lead out with Angelic Renewal. Next turn, excuse me, we'll drop the Myr and the Bodyguard, actually in that opposite order, with Orim's Cure and the Angelic Renewal there to really send things home. I'd like to not trip that Angelic Renewal because it will turn on Ethereal Armor. Note to self, let's kill that. Not good. I hate patient burn players because this is when you blink and you're at 8 life in 1 turn. All right. All right, we don't need this yet. I'd much rather pull this. We'll rock like here. And we'll do this. Good news, we can use this Orim's Cure on ourselves. I can also trip the Bodyguard, Fengraf it back, trip it again, trip the Angelic Renewal, bring it back again, so for like 3 free attacks. But that Orim's Cure might need to be used on ourselves here. Depends how aggressive they get. Okay, so we have this here. I'll choose this target, and I will, I'll tap this. We'll save it, take the damage ourselves. I like to keep those enchantments out as long as possible. He's like, I'm gonna wait. He's got a bodyguard and Angelic Renewal. This guy's really paid his dues. Not gonna matter much if we're in the single digits here. So I really want that Ethereal Armor to end the game quicker than later. I know he's probably got a, what do you call it, needle drop? I play this game too much, guys. Oh, we're taking the damage. 3 from that, 1 from that, another 1 from the Alchemist. Good news is, if he blocks that, the Alchemist dies. We like that. Bodyguard in tow. We like this. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, we're not even going to give him an option. How's that for a clock, sucker? Yeehaw! 2 turns. It might not be enough. You'd be surprised. They got 5 cards in their hand. I've easily seen this go the other way, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But they're really going to have to overcommit and lay off of our face and target the Ichorclaw Myr. And that bodyguard can come back twice if you're watching closely. At instant speed 2. But it does use the stack, so that could be a little setback. I'm not trying to rhyme, just having a good time. Come on now. Bodyguard in the house. Okay, 13. Getting nervous. 4 basics. Yikes. That's actually one of the first things I don't want to see here. My goodness. I'll yield to the Alchemist on that. Okay. Couple fire blasts and we're dead here. Somebody's going to win this turn. Might not be us. Or this next turn. His turn or our turn. That's what I'm trying to say. Yikes. Yikes. One more spell. Are we going to burn in hell? Ah! Probably. Yep. See? Not enough to get there. Burn it is. Don't worry. We'll play another one if we lose. Well, we win next turn. They win this turn. Wah, wah, wah. Scorch. Let's see what we drew next. Well, we could have drawn another card. Yeah, we would have brought back something. A little flooded. It's all right. Okay, well, Cure is all about that. We don't need the longbow. Believe it or not, don't lose this. If just don't take today as a typical example of the metagame. It's not usually that way. Crimson Acolyte and COP Red will obviously come in. Could probably lose 1 solid footing. I like the wings, but not that much because there's not many creatures across from us, and the ones he does have, we want them to block. So I might actually consider losing all of the Nimbus Wings in this matchup. I like the Angelic Renewal. Maybe one of these. Don't want to go overboard. We do have a COP Red. I think that's folly, actually. It's not that great against a good burn player. They just piece you apart and force you to trigger it for just a 1-for-1, even though it comes back twice. I do believe... I really want to see this one. I want to see it. I'll keep things alive. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, COP Red, show up. Let's get him to drop right out of the gates. Yeah, we won't play first. Oh man, a longer show. It doesn't feel like I've been on that long. 1, 2, 3, and we've got the Cure, which I think we're going to use on our own face. We'll keep this. Not the greatest, but 1 enchantment. We did keep all 4, and we'll be back in it. So let's hope for that. Okay. I don't mind that. I'll lead off with... Should I lead off with that? Or this? You could have Fire Blast one in response to that. So let me lead off with this. Take a bit of damage here. It's alright. Pretty much be unblockable and turn that Get You Lava Runner into absolute nothing draw. But the problem is we're probably going to be at 12 at the end of this turn. Okay, I don't mind that at all. Oh, we only take one. That's good news. We've got Orim's Cure in hand, so let's click gently into the night. Always nerve-wracking, these new red mages. What I love is being able to make my opponent go all in with a Fire Blast when we're at 4 and you have Orim's Cure in your hand. And you're like, zzz! It's like, you've just sacrificed everything for nothing. All right, can I please just get a really good enchantment? Ethereal Armor, anyone? Or the other one, Solid Footing. Pretty much win in 2 turns. That would be fun. Okay. Sure. Nope. I like this play. I'll block this. Or do I want to even do that? I could just prevent the 4 to me. Or that just comes back, right? I think I just want to let that die. Should I? Okay. Yeah, we'll just let that go. It'll come right back. Okay. Slow rolling here, folks. Better lucky than good. Actually, let's, you know, if he has Fire Blast right now, the best play here is to actually say pro red first so that he tries to go all in on this, and then we can save it with this being that. But I guess we know he doesn't have Fire Blast, or he's a... boop. And now we can save ourselves from this. Attack for 5. Here we go. And we'll play this. Keep the chat rolling, folks. Hate to tell you what to do, but after last week's crap, I'd really like to know everybody's still enjoying the feed. If you missed last week's show, good for you, because it was our worst one ever, being that we had updates that I'm sorry, I'm ranting a little bit too much to Pauper Tim and other engineers out there. It's maddening when that stuff happens. Protection from your deck, and you're dead next turn. Hey, all right, cool. I guess I fixed the problem, because we didn't have any issues for like 2 straight years, and then freeze up city. For other streamers out there, if you do get that little gold halo around your screen that tells you you're recording, don't worry, it doesn't show up on the recording. I have tested it numerous times, and it's good to go. We will block here. Take 1, and we can Orim's Cure any sort of Hail Marys that come our way. This is pretty much in the bag. Okay, we'll go to 9. We'll go to 6. Okay. We had Orim's Cure. Keep in mind this has Vigilance, so I was just kind of waiting for that fling effect of Fire Blast. So we'll say W. Win this one. We're going to have some fun. You see why I don't really like... you think on the surface that Prismatic Strands is good against burn, but my experience, it's better to try to just be the problem. Orim's Cure is kind of doing double duty there, keeping our guys safe and keeping us out of reach. It is fun when you drop a COP on somebody and they just quit. I have to admit, I have a little cruel streak in me that way. Lucas Scratch, I've been watching you YouTube for ages and I'm not used to being able to respond. Hey, it's good to have you with us. Thanks for hanging out. Dragonflyer123. Wow, we're at 35 viewers. It might be some new record. Isn't this the way it is? We play hate cards and then it shows you them and we don't have any land to do anything with. Dang it. Mulligan. Pretty easy choice here. Okay, I've got a bit of a slow roll here, but we'll keep it. What do we get rid of? Probably the Steppe. Yep. we'll do that. And I'll bring out a plane and hope for the best. Yeah, it's good to have you with us, Lucas Scratch. Sorry, I'm a little too caffeinated today. Very, ooh, I'm getting excited. Look at this. Solid footing with Orim's Cure and Priests of Norn and Angelic Renewal, and the curve's going to work. Unless they really come out screaming, which we saw game 1, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, but we're feeling pretty good. That's not what we want to see. Number 1 problem. Alrighty, well, I would rather... No, we're going to go like this. Slow roll. Yeah, Orim's Cure's nice and free. Solid footing and Priests of Norn just made for each other. I love flash enchantments. It's so cool. It's Dispel's so played. And it gets around just all that good stuff. But so those of you thinking this might be a little fringe deck, doesn't have the speed to compete, it does. Like I said, I don't like our chances now. Double Alchemist is just so brutal. This is when you do wish you had Prismatic, but even so, they respond to it and such. Woo-wee! This is feeling really good, I'm not going to lie. We've got everything we need if we can just survive. And we are at 20, soon to be 19. Rinse, repeat, and we will feel very clean. Come on, sucker. I do believe with this in our hand, I'm going to prevent the next damage to us. Yep, I'm going to do this right now. Double Alchemist is nothing to sneer at. I will cast this by tapping an untapped creature I control. Choose the target. Be very careful here, ladies and germs. We'll do that, and we will tap this in response. If you can kill that, that's fine. It comes back. We'll yield and hope we live through the turn, because this is going to stop one Thermal Alchemist activation and the Skewer. It's kind of a reverse Fire Blast, really. Regardless, it's going to prevent 4, so that's nice. Especially with Double Alchemist, man. That is just brutal. I'd be happy if he wants to block. We'll be able to just smash. I keep that solid footing as backup plan with the Priests of Norn because of Fire Blast. A lot of times, you know, you lead off with the armor, they go all in, sacrifice, and then you play solid footing and it lives. That's the theory. We'll rock like this. Attack like this. Booyah. Still won't be enough. But it is 8. That's pretty great. 8 damage. Play this. Not out of the woods yet, folks. 5 cards. It could easily be close to the single digits when these guys untap. This is maddening. This is when you really want a Benevolent Bodyguard. I can just trip it, call red, and attack for the win. But like I said, we're going to be in Pain Town here. Yep, we're at 10. Does anybody? Oh, Code to Code. There's a really cool community build idea out of the Bellingham area. They call it themselves on Facebook, the MTG Bellingham crew, and they talked about it before, but put together like 6 or 7 pauper decks, and they just create a game like in their store. It's slow to build, but then when people show up and they're like, what's this? And there's a deck to play. It's a really good way to kickstart a thing. I don't think we're going to win this one, guys. Nope. Got him at 8. Curious what our next draw is, though. Yeah, dead. Any spell here, and he just wins. Double Alchemist is so... I would have liked to have pulled that off for you guys, but don't worry, we'll play one more. Usually stop at 5, but we are... try to pull even here at a 3-3. It's frustrating. Usually I do 3-2 or better with this. A lot of times 4-1. Not today. Not in the cards. My ego's bruised. I want to go out. Let's see what our next card was. Bodyguard for the win. Damn it. Oh well. Hey guys, check out this new commercial. I'll be right back after this. And we're back. Here we go. All right. Last game. Win, lose, or draw. I don't think there's many draw chances. We will like to play first. Yes. Yuck. Mulligan. And keep. We got an okay thing unless we see mountain and swamp, which is very obvious. Keep. Get rid of a plane. And invest. Done. Yeah, my wife saw that. I think it was on Facebook. And so using me ripping software. Bow versus Crypt Rats. If you have enough regenerated mana, kind of makes sense. Blue it is. Okay. It's not of the snow-covered persuasion, so we might just be up at bounce. To make our jobs a little bit easier with the thing, if we can rush on in and get them to try and block. I had the last build, if you search back on YouTube about 6 months ago, I think I had 3 gut shots, which still may or may not be the correct call. Cool thing about this draw, though, is we've got early aggro. They're probably going to want to counter this, and then we're going to follow it up with. And if it's just a mono blue build, then we might have the lock outside of a Spire Golem. There's always that. I'm just happy the feed's working nice and clear here today. Nothing worse than the alt. Hut. Boom. Ooh, boy, we like all of this. All right. Prior combat, we'll do this. Hope a spell stutter sprite shows up. Kind of putting the screws to them here. They've got bounce. We've got the action for it. It's a little bit too early. Pretty good draw on our part. Cool. Thinking I'm just going to attack here. I'll save that blessing for a little surprise value. EOT probably, but he might throw a sprite in front of this. I don't know why, but Nimbus Wings is nice, but I want to make sure we're protected from blue, which is, we still haven't seen enough of this deck. It might be splashing black. We don't know. This suggests that they are. Let's see what happens here. Blue. Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to do this right now. We'll call blue on this. See, if they have Dispel, it doesn't work because this is an enchantment. Force Spike works. Oh, man. Somebody plays this game too much to die. White bordered Force Spike. Man, that's almost as insulting as that early game whatchamacallit. Just Fae, huh? Okay, mono. Why would they have access to Ash Barrens? Maybe they have one mountain and Swirling Sandstorm for games 2 and 3? Who knows? I sure don't. Well, I'm going to pull this dude out. Bonk. Hard counter. Okay. It's a bit frustrating. We can get that back next turn. Hold on. I gotta scold my brother. He always does this. Streaming like I said every Saturday. Good grief. I think we'll slow roll it. This is when you do wish you had gut shot. Alrighty, our opponent just gone to lunch. I probably thought the same thing about me answering a text. That was a first during a show, but I swear my brother has asked me that 70 times in the last 2 years. Only on Saturday mornings. I'm like, dude, I hear from you once a week, and it's the one time I'm busy. Please don't text me Saturday mornings. Next Saturday, bing. Really? Gotta love family. Oh, Decode, what didn't you like about the graph? Here, is this going to be a ninja? We're in for a treat. Bonk. Okay. Happy with that. Well, I kind of like this because now we have access to protection. So I'm going to put this on here. We'll probably eat a sprite, but then outside of another force spike, we'll probably be able to get what we really want to stick, which is the blessing. Our backup, we're feeling pretty good. Well, darn it, I'll pay 2. Does it stick, or did we run into a Fae? It just got all the tricks. Hopefully they run out of them. Thank goodness for the bodyguard. Set it and forget it. If it was only a 2-1 first strike. Good news for us, we're running 2 more lands than we're normally supposed to for an aggro build. That's the hard way. Augur of Olesch showing up. Let's see what he's going to show us here. Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I think I'm going to brave the... it's probably a sprite at this point, which is mega frustrating. At this stage, I'm going to... You know what? Yeah, this is cool. We'll bluff out another one. Let's see. He's got another sprite. All right. I can attack here. Let me do that, and before I'll chance it. I was really hoping he'd bite on that other one. I'll say blue on this. I've got bodyguard backup if we need it. Cool. We might just win here. This is really hard to get around for a monocolor deck here. I think they just went a little too all in on color wash there. Now we can be a little reckless with our bodyguard if a ninja. I mean, we got the win next turn, unless they respond with like a bounce spell with bodyguard on the stack. But outside of that, I think writings on the wall, like the Doors meets Magic the Gathering. I'm too young to know much about the Doors, but I just saw some documentary on Val Kilmer, which was pretty on Prime. Starts a little crappy, then it gets really good. Hey, cool. Into a whole lot of counters there. We still managed to save the day. But like I said, win, loser. If this deck ever runs up against a monocolored deck or 2 colors and it's really leaning on one for the removal, find that it's very good. It tends to do very, very good. Okay. Angelic Renewal I kind of like. I kind of like Orim's Cure, but not that much. Bring in another Longbow. We really like that. Protection we really like. I really respect blue decks. Nimbus Wings we obviously like. We'll get rid of all of our cures. Angelic Renewal is kind of cool because I could trip the Bodyguard and bring it back. I mean, this is a combat trick. Maybe we should go 1 and 1. Feel free to chime in if anybody thinks I'm punting on decision tree here. And why am I doing this? Scientific as I like to claim to be, sometimes I get kind of superstitious and I think that the shuffler's out to get me. Propaganda, I've been tilted so many times with 7th edition duress. Oh boy, I know, it's the worst. Opossum, pie awesome. Oh, although class UG deck, Blue Skies list doesn't usually run Augur. Indeed, or Ash Barons. Just maybe they're on Ona's Grace and they're tired of getting screwed, but they don't want to get flooded and it nicks things down. I'm not sure, but regardless, it's not the greatest hand, is it? On the draw. I'll keep, it's right on the edge there, but come on, Bodyguard early. All right, well, we've got double access. Oh, that was a misplay. I should have dropped the step, damn it. Can't need all your, especially since we saw, ooh, look at this. Black shows up, damn it. We got Took. This is Dimir. This is our worst matchup. So I'm going to, the thing I care least about being the Ichorclaw Myr. Easiest to kill. But very hard to block, even in Augur. Can't really. Say yes to duress. Who would want to say yes to duress? That's a negative. Tempted to cycle, tempted to cycle. Let's cycle. Hi. Please be a land. Okay, well, it's not too bad. This is when, and I said it earlier and we were wrong. We drew lands. This is when this amount of land we're going to see because I cycled that and I didn't play it on our turn 1. Oh, I'm wrong again. Hey, you know what? I'm very happy to be wrong today. But I am going to this because outside of a snuff out, there's not very good blocking options with this. And we'll have a response with solid footing and ethereal armor. And times it kind of puts the screws to them, you know. They want to start off with an early ninja. We've got something to say about that. This will be it, folks. Win, lose, or draw. Hopefully it's a win. Pull even here. Don't let record fool you. Like I said, go back in the last 2 or 3 times we played this. It's just been 3-2 or better. I do like the enchantment. Keeps our dudes safe and secure for quite a while. All right, so we're obviously up against Dimir's our worst matchup, and we'll save that for here. This. Curious if I want to risk things. I do not. Nice little bait and switch there. A little switcheroo sideboard. Paladin 19. Similar base. Also Walker the Grove. Very nice. It could solid footing in response, but they're probably just going to find another edict effect or cast. Where is our Obsidian Acolyte now? Nowhere to be found. Yeah. One of the scariest white looking decks, I tell you. These guys are nothing to sneeze at, and the Priests of Norn are even scarier. All right, let's see what we're going to see. Spell Pierce. You play around. And that blows. 1 more mana. Ah, I wish there was a thing to make it legendary. Manacost.com. Oh, it's just the plethora of black balls and just the sheer amount of them and the pressure they're able to put on. And then add to that a little bit of counter magic splash gen. It can just be kind of a headache. We've got blue only showed up, so. Alrighty, we'll do this back thing. Hopefully they just go crazy with the Gurmag Angler. Problem being here, though, we already seen Spell Pierce. I mean, creature's going to get through, but maybe not much else. At this stage, I almost hope we pull the Claw with that Augur of Bolas on board. 4/4s are strong, haha. Puppy read, yes, read that comment. Why? I'm slowly reading back everything and looking like a drooling idiot. Send that to me at poppergan@gmail.com if it was a good commercial idea. I'd appreciate it. Chat's probably the worst way to get across an idea. Nice genesis of them, that's for sure. All right, let's go get some stuff. Ichorclaw Myr, please. Cool. Land, please. No. So this is why Dimir's bad. We set it out there, they can kill it, or they counter it. And that's why a lot of people are complaining about it. I've tried it, Dreamer Stango. That was actually the last time I really crashed and burned hard with this list. Probably another cast down headed our way. Or just a hard snuff out. Oh, cycling it. All right. Yeah, Miser Seed. Not to be no hyperbole. Wins plenty. It's just we've two of the if we lose this one, two of the losses will be against the absolute worst matchup, which I said at the start of the show is Dimir, but I stand by it, damn it. I really like this list. Really hoping to see some squirrels so we could use our Palace Guard / Benevolent Blessing and infinitely block. A little bit janky. I mean, you need Prismatic to help get you there, but once you set it up, in theory, it but honestly, if I was entering a tournament... Actually, no, if I was entering a tournament, I would leave it in there because you see more of that in a tournament, but here, we've just got too much fun stuff. I'm actually going to put an L down already. I know it's a bit defeatist, but it feels like they've got us on kind of a soft lock with counters here. I mean, we've got 8 turns where the board is presented here, but who knows. Reminder, we are here every single Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but next week we will not be. Here we go. No ninjas? What's going on here? And I guess we'll wait another turn. Maybe we'll get dressed again. Come on, deck. Enough features. Used a Fengraf to our credit. Had 2 of them dealt with Cast Down and Chainer's Edict. We have yet to poison them this game. Yeah, against Storm, though, Awesome Possum, that works once, and then the squirrels kill you the turn. Prismatic buys you 2 turns. But I get what you're saying. That is the frustrating thing sometimes when you're really trying to design for a tournament is it's kind of the same daily dozen of each card choice. If you veer off too much from it, it doesn't make much sense. All right. We're about to scoop here, really good, and they've got Spell Pierce. They're probably just going to counter this. If this gets countered, we just go to game 3. All right. Oh, that's fun. I don't think there's much a way around this. It's probably just got a cast down here. Yeah, if you text me next Saturday, it'll be fine. Okay. I want to do this before blocking. We've got so many of them. I'm just happy to trade a spell for a spell here. And if he doesn't do anything, we can at least kill Augur of Bolas. We know he's got Spell Pierce. He's probably going to pull it now, which I'll be happy about. I've got more later. If we draw a land, we can really tear it up. Yeah. Hey, it costs him a spell. We're going to take 7. I can't revive next turn. There's a... Yeah, I don't see a scenario where we win this one. All right. I already have the L down there. Let's see what it was. Hey, that was pretty good, actually. Probably just sitting on another one there, and we would have to block. That would have been, you know, we might have been able to turn that one around. Who knows? I'm not too worried about fights in this matchup, but I do want to bring in our Obsidian Acolytes. And now what to lose? Solid Footing is a nice instant spell, but it is 1. I'll probably get rid of. So now we're up to 18 creatures. I've got 2 Hate Bears. Hopefully we see them. And to see them, we will put them here and go like this. And this is it, folks. I hope we win this one. I do not want to go on vacation licking my wounds, but it does happen. Go. Hey, switching names there, Pauper Tim. What's going on? Oh, wait, no, never mind. I thought you meant you were Pauper Tim. I'll try to see. Maybe. Let's play first. Yuck. Answer, no threat. Mulligan. All right, we'll keep. Bit flooded. Keep. Throw this back. Done. And here we go. Thank you for that, Sean. Where is our Hate Bear? I want to see a preordain here. Good. I don't want to walk into a Force-spiked Ichorclaw. Yeah, that'd be say no to spells that sneak through or can kind of save the day and do the yeah-buts. That's the reason Dimir's such a pain for this deck. We're kind of building tall and trying to go all in with it. And lands deck. I already put 1 back. I don't need to see any more. But we all know where that's going to end. Probably foreseeing the future. Well, we've pulled off 1 victory against Dimir. It's kind of a little small victory. Whether or not to go in with the Priests of Norn, right? We'll bring this in. Attack. Because we're flooded, should I wait till next turn? I will. I don't want to walk into a Force Spike, but I will next turn, being able to trip the Fengraf and come back alive. We'll see. Okay, that's no big deal with the Ichorclaw Myr out. Let's see what our opponent's actually doing here. Scry 2, bottom top, pretty typical. A hard counter will do it for us. Bonk. Okay. We'll try to bring out our priest. If we can give that pro black, it's some... well, not so much. We saw that in the other game where they kept enough ninjas and such back that it was kind of put our feet to the fire, so to speak. No hard counters. Maybe they've got 4 spikes only. We've got the hand for that, that's for sure. Improv spells. Yes, and. All right, come on over, ninja. I really want to see a ninja here. Tie up that mana for a whole turn and let us do our thing. Come on over. All right. Or that. There. Okay. Something that will require a counterspell. Cool. Really like this. Boom. Boom. Probably get a sprite out of the deal. There it is. So now we'll go like this. Calling this on blue. I mean black. I don't know why they're playing the indestructible land. It's like it would be better to just play basics. God damn it. Always have to have everything. I was ready for Force Spike, wasn't ready for Spell Pierce. And there goes the tempo. Damn it. At least we're safe from you know who's. Good news is we'll get him back next turn. Bad news, not if they have another sprite, which it seems like this deck just has everything. But they can't block. Cool. We burn a black spell for free. Take that, sucker. Good news about being flooded. That's why we run Fengrafs. Both for the activation and because we have to sacrifice it. Please be a ninja. I'd really like to see one, actually. No. Actually, I wouldn't, because that would counteract the Obsidian Acolyte, given that they have 2 fairies out. Okay, well, we'll play this. Maybe that'll buy us another spell activation, right? 1, 2, 3. Attack here. I don't know if it's worth waiting or not. What do you guys think? Play this now or wait? Something tells me to wait. I feel the force spike. I'm going to wait. They've got access to just hard counters anyway, so I'm going to wait. It also suggests that they should duress us because I've got some, like, trick. And they're at 6 Infect, so at least this is competitive, game 3. That first Dimir game wasn't so fun. Now, there's the augur of giving away secrets. Let's see what we're up against. What is this? Counterspell. Shoot. Well, I'd really like to have seen their hand. They can't really block anything here. Please turn into a ninja. Good news is, if we draw something that's counter-worthy, he knows we've got the Obsidian Acolyte. It'd be funny if we draw the other one, right? Well, not in hindsight with that looking us down. Kind of like this scenario. Hard counterspell there. Ah, man. What do they got? I think I'm going to rock like this. I know we're turning on black if it happens. Hopefully it's not a 1-mana response spell, but we do have a mystery card here that they don't know about, so playing to my outs a little bit here. Say, I'll pull it now. I don't want to live in fear. I'm going to tap 4, pretend like we've got something. Be like, oops, no, didn't mean to do that. Let's see if you want to do this. Hard counter is what we want to see here. Actually, we don't want to see him do it. We want him to think that this plane is something more than it is. This is when they pause and they go log on and see what's in our hand. Sprite shows up. Okay, preserving the threat. And what is it exactly? Mystery card. Mystery card. There's a counter spell in hand. We have a mystery card. Hopefully they use a duress again. Okay, well they're going to have to do a lot more blocking next time. Oh my kidding, they probably just got a cast down and we got no answer for it. At least we're bluffing that we do with the 2 planes open, but So to answer your question, man, at cost.com, I do think they would have been better minus the Bolus top deck. Seeing that we've already seen so many Spell Pierces and Force Spikes. And they had 4 mana up, so if they have counter magic, they've got us either way. I wanted to at least bet on them having a little bit flooded access to Force Spikes and such. Oh, I'm so happy the stream's going good again. It was only 1 week, but boy, it felt like an eternity when I was watching that stream back. Very tempted to just delete that show and be like, nope. Ooh, what do we have here? Ninja in the Mists. Where are the ninjas in this list? Okay, there's a counter spell on our future. Even as frustrated as I am at these amount of lands looking at us, I'm telling you 23 is the right number given that we sacrifice so many of them. I'm going to try to buy a duress here and think better of it. Think better of it. No. Think a little bit. No. And we'll let that go. We know he's got a counterspell. I'm just trying to make them use another duress if they top deck one or they already have one in their hand. Damn that augur. Wish we had some a little bit more heavy hitting numbers, like our little solid footing. That would have been nice. Go for the throat. COP blue shows up. That might be fun. Instead of an angler. Ah, damn it. Well, dang it. Got Affinity and Jund, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do too much else. Now, if a ninja shows up, that augur is going to be able to flip and turn into some good stuff. Staring down a counterspell. 2, 4, 5. Dang it. It's always a risk when I run this list that it ends up looking like the rogue deck it is. That's true of any list, though. Alrighty, now duress will turn on. We've got 3 turns, and we've got to bait him out a counterspell. It's not looking good for us, guys. I'll be honest. Ew. But I don't think Sentinel's Eyes would have done anything special versus Nimbus Wings, which is kind of an obvious counter, and lets our dudes at least play with the fairies. I just don't know why they're running Mistvault Bridge. I guess I'll never know. Well, there's an Acolyte, but that's not going to do us too much good here. Might buy us a counter. I'm not sure what that Nimbus Wings. Who knows? Maybe they're hoarding lands too. I doubt it. Actually, that answers somebody's Celestia question earlier with Infect. I've often thought Azorius might be the way to go because of cards like Augur or Bolus and being able to find stuff. But that's also when, that's right when you, is this a ninja coming at us? Oh, I thought so because of the Augur. That's also when the Augur buries all these creature options, right? All right. Well, let's see if he bites. Protection from block. Is it going to let it through? Needs more cowbell. This, yeah. Feels like it needs a lot of stuff against double Dimir decks today, but all right. We crash and burn on that one there, folks. I'll go over the deck list here. Honestly, wouldn't trade too much. Now, I know the last time I played 12 draw black, I was a little bit flooded, and I ended up going back and going to 17 lands, and I'm telling you, I'm not new to this white infect thing. I've even played it in a league to some success before. But hey, we ran into a buzzsaw of our worst matchup and almost played even with it that last game. But this is the list. We run 23 lands, but again, I've just got to reiterate, these are for sacrificial purposes. So now we're at 20. And if you cycle all of these, we're at 16. And this doesn't have much draw, so that's kind of what we rely on for this. However, if you see this and this, and maybe one other, I really recommend in this list playing the step early and then cycling the rest of them as once you get to like 4 or 5 mana. Because the deck can be a little bit intensive. I mean, the activation of this and such. But we never got to see this. Last time I streamed this, we were coming over for like 5 with a longbow. And so end of turn, you just ping the death people and such like that. So it's pretty cool. And then if you're joining us late, the little secret tech from way back when goblins was a thing and I first started Pauper was this old Palace Guard card. And it's kind of janky. I'll be the first to admit. But when you're running all these strands and you have this much protection package and you have 50 squirrels coming at you, well, you block 50 times and in theory, they're protected from green, and you've won. And then Prismatic Strands is there for backup. So it can be some good times. We've got some free spells in the form of Orim's Cure and Angelic Renewal. We saw a few times, the Bodyguard Trips comes back, and it's like playing 8 bodyguards. But like I said, cards didn't roll our way this time. That being said, I'll be back in 2 weeks. We're off next week. I'll be bringing you something cool. I was about to play a version of Zodiac K, had an interesting list that used, let me bring up the, give them a little shout out here. It used, where is it? Hard Evidence, yes. Where's the other cards at? Oh wait, no, that was the one that I had tweaked. The original had white, which I was a little against, and Resculpt, which I just over and over again, it's a nice little combat trick and such, and playing so many things like Hard Evidence and all of these artifact builders. In the end, I ended up kind of turning it into just a draw go sort of deck, and the main thing being Stoic Rebuttal, being counter spells, whatever. But we've always had Deprive too, so it just didn't feel that good. Of course, obviously, if I would have brought it today, maybe that would have been the difference. And then obviously having access to Clarkan Shaman is just so key in this matchup or in this metagame. But a lot of times we don't see Squirrel show up because people just auto rage quit, and I think they only show up in tournaments. So I'm trying to be honest with the metagame and play decks that I think stand a chance in the leagues, but obviously with the hate for Chatterstorm, as we showed in the commercial, that's not always what we run into. So there's a bit of a construction bias there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to roll to a Pauper Zodiac thing here and a few other things. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for joining me on Propaganda. Please spread the word. We're tiny in the online streaming community. Just tell a friend, tell somebody who likes Pauper. Check us out 2 Saturdays from now. Adios, guys.
Attention Propaganda Nights! Show your love of all things Papa with our Ultra Deluxe Playmats. And true to our Papa roots, the glorious artwork is 100% free.
The accoutrement that you will need. Accoutrement? What is that?
Just send an email to propaganda@gmail.com with the subject 1, 2, or 3, and we'll send you the playmat file for free. All you need to do is visit our friends at inkgaming.com. Order yours today.